Can you hear me? And also see my screen before we begin?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So can we find a reader for today? Who will be reading for us today? Okay, thank you so much. I assume that you are the one who's going to read, or I want to say something. The one who raised the hand.
I said I can read. I was one that read small yesterday.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I think we can just begin straight away for the interest of time. And I see this one has a lot of slides. So this is MCQ 2. So we can begin straight away to read this part. Slide 2.
Okay. So, dear team, our mission as adorous as its essential requires us to delve deeper into our reservoir of data. To truly illuminate the road ahead, we must magnify our analysis, moving beyond isolated data points to discern larger patterns and trends. In this next step, we will cluster our data, stepping back from the individual figures to gain a panoramic understanding. This bird's eye view, sorry, it's like I have to move this into my system because my phone is not letting me. This was the issue I had yesterday. Kindly give me some time. Can someone read this one, please?
Yes. Can we find another person who will read for us quickly so that we may cover a lot today? As she tried to sort out.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a bit from Nora. Okay, dear team, our mission as adults as it is essential requires us to delve deeper into our reservoir of data. To truly illuminate the road ahead, we must magnify our analysis, moving beyond isolated data points to discern larger patterns and trends. In this next step, we'll cluster our data, stepping back from the individual figures to gain a panoramic understanding. The bird's eye view will allow us to unearth broader narratives and hidden correlations concealed within our rich dataset. Next, we must pay heed to the different forms of data in our possession. They are not mere numbers or dates, they are stories waiting to be deciphered. Their unique structure, though challenging, brings with variable insights. As we process these, we unlock deeper layers of understanding. Bear in mind that every piece of information you decipher, every category you determine brings us one stride closer to our noble goal. It is through the intricate details and broad brushstrokes of data that we will uncover the solutions of Majindogo water crisis. Your unwavering commitment to this mission emboldens me. Together, we continue marching forward using data and education as our compass towards a brighter, more secure future for Majindogo. Thank you for all your tireless efforts. Warm regards, Aziza Naledi.
Okay, can you try to explain to us or a brief overview of what is entailed here? The message from Aziza.
Just a brief. She's just emphasizing on the fact that now in this next project, we're not just supposed to look at this at the numbers and data as they are, but there are stories that are trying to be told. There are data structures that are unique that will come out of the queries that we're going to run.
That's wonderful. Thank you. So I can read this, the response from Chidi.
Okay. Hi, Prisoner Lady. I hope you're doing well. While diving into our recent survey data for the Majindogo Water Project, our team stumbled upon some inconsistencies that caught our eye. It's nothing alarming, but we think it's worth a closer look. Would you consider bringing it in an independent auditor to double-check some of the records? I think it's a smart move to ensure everything is on the up and up. After all, we are all about accuracy and trust. Feel free to reach out if you want to chat more about this or need more details. Take care. Chidi Kunto.
Yeah, so this is the response from Chidi. He's responding to the president, and he went through the database, and then he realized that the database it had some inconsistency. So he's proposing or suggesting that the president could look for an auditor for the table, the databases, so that they can go further and do some analysis on that. So that's not much. And then, so this is the response. You can read for us.
Okay. Hi, Chidi. Thanks for catching that and for being so attentive to detail. Nora, you ready?
Please, but you can finish that up since you started. Yes.
Okay, let me finish and then you can do the others. Okay. Hi, Chidi. Thanks for catching that and for being so attentive to detail. I'm right there with you on this. We want to be sure we're working with the best information possible. I'll get an independent auditor on this ASAP. They'll touch base with you and the rest of the team to get things rolling. I've CC'd everyone so that we're on the same page. Appreciate your diligence, Chidi. Let's keep up that great work. Madindogo is counting on us. All the best. Aziza Naledi.
Yeah, so Aziza Naledi is responding to Chidi, and she's in agreement to what he proposed, that they really need to look for an independent auditor as soon as possible, so that they can help them to get things up and running to do the analysis and all that. I think there's not much information there. Someone can read for us now.
Okay. Before we start, scan through the data dictionary and perhaps query a couple of tables to get a feel for the database again. Cleaning our data. Okay, bring up the employee table. It has information on all of our workers, but note that the email addresses have not been added. We will have to send them reports and figures, so let's update it. Luckily, the emails for our departments are easy. First name, last name, at ndogowater.gov. I'm going to guide you through this one, so code along. You can determine the email address for each employee by 1. Selecting the employee name column, replacing the space with a full stop, making it lowercase, and stitch it all together. We have to update the database again with these email addresses. So before we do, let's use a select query to get the format right, then use update and set to make the changes.
Okay, thank you so much. It is raining on my end. I don't know if it is making noise on your end. Are you able to hear me? Are you hearing the?
Yes, we can hear you.
What about the rain? Is it interfering?
No.
I can hear you, but it's not that much. It's okay. We can hear you.
I don't know. If it will be much, I think someone else could present. If it will be too much, I think it's. Can someone else volunteer to take us through? I think it will inconvenience. It will don't make it. You say you can hear. You can hear me. Very
yes,
well.
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
You can continue.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Let me just continue. Now, I say that it's always a good practice to understand everything before you go to the workbench. So before we start the scan through the data dictionary, now this is just a continuation on what we did yesterday. So the data dictionary, the database is just the same. We tried to exploit yesterday, so it's just the same things. It's just the same things. Let me open my workbench, and I hope this rain stops as soon as possible. Don't know the problem here. I think installing and reinstalling bring us the issue. I think it will work. So basically, they are suggesting that first of all we go through the tables, the database, and the tables, and understand everything. And this is just a continuation on what we did yesterday. So we are familiar with the tables, and so let me just clear this stuff and have a clean query like this one, and just a clean query, a script, a SQL script. So he's saying that cleaning our data. Now the first step here is cleaning our data. Okay, bring up the employees table. It has info on all our workers, but not the email addresses have not been added. We will have to send them reports and figures. So let's update it. Likely the emails for our department are easy: first name, last name, and then extension on all is ndogowater.gov. So I think first of all we need to check on that. So the table is the employee table. And the employee table already is opened. So the employee table, let me just use the GUI to open it. Remember the command is select. When you use asterisk, it means that you are selecting all the columns. You want to retrieve to return all the tables from this database, and the table name is the employee. So in this way, you can see that you have this. You have this. I don't know. I want to. Yeah, you have this information here. I think. Yeah, this information is here, and it's saying that the email has an issue. Like you can see, it has an issue. You can see we have the null values here, and then it's saying you don't have information about the. Let me get. Bring up the employee table. It has information of all, but not that that the email addresses have not been added. And it's true. You can see we have the null values, and then it goes ahead and say, so the email address, it was easier. So it was a combination of the first name and the last name, and then the extension for all is ndogowater.gov. So I'm going to get you through this one. So code along. Now the first thing, we can determine the email addresses for each employee ID. So the first step, select the employee column name, replace the space with a full stop, make it lowercase, then stitch it together. And then I will have to update the database with this email address. So before you do, let's select a query to get the format right. Then I use the update and I say to make it to make the changes. So here in this email, in this part for email address, so to get the email addresses, it was the first name of the employee and the last name of the employee, and then with the extension .ndogowater.gov. So I think with that information we can try to create the emails here for these to create the email to fill in the email column. So and then he give us the steps. The first thing is to select the employee name column. The employee name column, selecting the employee name column, then replacing the space with a full stop, the full stop. So basically we have to remove this space, and then replace, for example, Amara Jengo. So this space between Amara and the last name is you have to remove this white space there. Then the other step was to do it, to make it lowercase, and then the other thing was now to join, to concatenate with that extension at ndogowater.gov. So I think I think we've understood here everything. We can begin to write our query, right? Or does anyone has more information before we get to the query to add on? Because at the first step, you have to understand first of all what they are asking, or basically what is here before you even begin the cleaning process or the editing. Does anyone have something to add on before we get to the MySQL Workbench? Okay, someone said that silent means that there's no comment there. So basically, here we want to update this. I want to concatenate. We are going to begin by first of all removing what we are going to begin by first of all removing the spaces. Who can give us the command? Can anyone give us the command? So, guys, am I live? Are you able to hear me? Kindly let's cooperate so that I think we go somewhere.
Can hear you.
Yes.
So
yes, kindly.
type select.
Yes.
Select. Next line replace.
So there's no asterisk. So replace. We use the replace.
Yes.
Yes.
Open brackets. Employee name.
The employee name. Let me open the table. Then.
Between the employee and the name, there is an underscore.
Yeah. Employee name. Employee
Comma.
name.
Then a space. A quote.
Yes.
Then should be a space between the quotes. Then a comma. Space. Another quote. And then in between that quote, you put the full stop. Then we close the bracket. So we are getting it from the employee.
So can you try to describe? Are you also from
employee?
From employee table.
Yeah.
So you say that you have first of all to define the database.
You can run it to the semicolon.
Now, before we run, let's try to understand these things before we run. Now, basically, we want to replace. Now, the question was to replace all the white spaces with the full stop. Yeah, actually, the space between the first name and the last name. So, the first thing we are defining the table or the column name. We are defining now the column name that I want to do some update there. Then now the second parameter now, this one tells us the thing that I want to replace with to actually the original value that we intend to update. Then the third parameter now, this one defines what needs to be replaced in that original value that we want to update. So in this case, these are replace keyword is going to target the employee name column, and then it's going to replace the white spaces here, and then it's going to replace it with the full stop, with with what, with this dot, with the dot. So then now the third parameter is just to define the table name, and then the database. And then when you run, you can see now that the spaces in the let's try to do this. Can I yeah, but I think I wanted to also include other tables, but it's not necessary at the moment. So now you can see that we've updated, we have replaced the white spaces. Now it has the dot instead. So then the next thing he said, make it lowercase. So in SQL we have a command called lower. You have a command called lower. So this one should wrap up everything. Should replace should actually include everything. Should make everything. When you use the lower, it will make everything lowercase. When you use the lower command, lower clause, lower keyword. Now it should wrap everything. it should wrap everything like that, if I'm not wrong. And then when you run, you can see it returns, or it makes, you can see initially it was uppercase, the initials of each name, either a first or a last name, it was capitalized. But now you can see now with the lower, it makes every word a lowercase. And then the other thing, to join now this email, this ndogowater.gov, then I will need now to use something called concatenation, actually, to join the to join strings together. You can basically join strings. You can join integers or anything with the concat function. So the concatenation function is like to combine things together. So again, as SQL has that command. Now we want to combine this name with something else. We want to convert it with the extension at ndogowater.gov. So before can I give someone a chance to give us that command to concatenate now these working names. This name that is modified. It has the first name and the last name. They are all lower cases, and the white spaces are now replaced with the dot. And we want to concatenate it. We want to join it with the logo, with the what? With the with this email, with this at ndogowater.gov. Can someone quickly give us the command? If because of time, let me just do it. So let's just, so the command is a concat for concatenation, concat. So a function should always have the parentheses. So it should be enclosed inside the parentheses. Now the first parameter defines the first argument that I want to concatenate it. Then at the second item that I want to combine in that first argument, you separate it with a comma. Now remember, all these stuff, all these are code up to this lower. This one defines the first argument. This name that has that name is lowercase. All the names are lowercase, and then we have removed the full stops. These are called full stops, I guess. And then now we want to concatenate it with something else. So we use a comma, and because we want to concatenate it with a string, so a string always is defined with quotes. In most languages, it is defined with either a single or a double quote. And then so here, where you want to add the second argument, you have to, let me just copy now the second argument that I want to concatenate. So we'll just use this ndogowater.gov. Then I'll add it here. I forgot to remove the full stop there. So this is the second argument that we want to combine in the first argument. Now remember, this is the name that we've made them lowercase and remove the white space. Then now we want to concatenate it with this one. So when we just run it, it should have this combination, the amara.django@ndogowater.gov. Now I think that this one will now give us a clear overview, because they say that we can determine the email addresses for each employee by selecting the employee column. Then the second one was to replace the space with the full stop. The third argument was to make them a lowercase, and then the fourth statement was to stitch it all together. To stitch, I think it's something like to combine, to make them all together, to link them, to join them. And we use the concat function to join it. And then he goes ahead and say we have to update the database again with this email address. So before we do, let's use the select query to get the format right. Then I use the update. So we've been using the select so that we can see here on the output the display. We can see on the output the display, so that in case you have an error, remember when you use the update, it will affect your table. It will affect your table. In case there's an error, it will affect the entire table. But now when you use this select, you can check if everything is correct before you update it. So once you see like everything is okay, then now you can use the update. The update it's called what? Update command. So can someone again give us that that command to update? To update now this one to the database, to our origin, to now, because now we've checked like everything is okay based on what they said there. We've removed the white space and replaced it with the full stop, and then now we've made the first name and the second name, all of them to be lowercase, and then now we've concatenated with the other thing, with this email address. Remember, you can add as many arguments as you want, but remember this one we were restricted to only include this dogoota.gov. But you can as well add in a comma, then I use an integer. For example, let's say something like 100. So you can see that it can as well concatenate even the integers. But now in this one, they just said we use, because we just want to obtain the email addresses, to get the email addresses. So before we go further, I believe everyone has understood. Does anyone has a question before we go to the update command?
You can go ahead.
Okay, that's wonderful. So you can give us the command. Can you give us the command to update?
I really don't know the command. That's why I'm not. That's why
Okay,
I'm not saying anything. Yeah.
okay, thank you. So basically the command to update to the database, not to the database, the table, we use the update command. Then now here you are going to specify the table that you want to update. And I said that yes, I said yesterday that you might have several databases in your system, so you must specify the database that you want to modify. So that's why we use, first of all, you define the database name, then at the second parameter now defines the table that you want to modify. So so this one, with this line, you are defining the table that you want to update. Now the second thing, we use the set. We use now the set. So we are going to set the email part. Let me again open the entire thing so that we can check it well on another tab. So we want to modify this email part. So we'll now set the email address. So we shall set email address to everything here. We use now this equal operator to set everything to it. So when we run this query, it will update this table, employee table, and it's going to replace everything, every record within that column is going to replace them with this information that is here. So You can see initially it was a null, but now when you run this query, it's going to update it. So let me run. First of all, we have an error, so we need to, you're using the safe mode. So first of all, you have to, before you update a table, you have to unlock, because it usually locks the table so that you cannot modify it unless you are accidentally. So you have to be vigilant. So they actually just want to tell you that are you sure? They will just want to confirm with you if you are sure you want to update the table. So I think that there's a command for that to set the safe mode. Who can give us the command so that we may remove now that safe mode option and allow updates to the table? What is the command? Someone gave us the command yesterday, I guess. What was it?
Someone dropped it on the chat, on the chat.
Okay, let me mute it. Yeah, so I think that this, I don't know why this command I don't usually get it right. Most of the time I usually forget the command. I think the reason might be it's long. SQL save update. Oh yeah. So when you set it to 0, it means that you are turning off the safe mode so that you can modify. When it is 1, it means that so basically 0 is like false, then 1 is like a true. When you give it 0, it's like you are turning off the safe mode. When you give it 1, you are turning on. So for it, you can see when you run with this one, when it is on, by default it is on 1, and that's why you saw we had the error. But now when you have this command, then when we run, it will update. So let's update, and then now you can see now we have the tick here. When you have the tick, just know that in this history, in this action, I think action output here, when you have the tick here, just know that it is successful. Now when you try to run again this part, you'll find out that now the email address is now modified. You can see now we have the amara.jenga, and then all the records are now updated. So I believe everyone has understood the process. Are we together?
Yes, I got it. I'm surprised kind of where this set and update is coming from, the syntax, but it's fine. Thank you.
Basically, this is just a command you can just, for me, I have never crammed this command. So most of the time I usually research it before but you can just save it somewhere so that anytime you want to update a table, you know the command SQL_save_update. So basically this is the command that turns off. I think it's under sublanguage of SQL, the SQL sublanguage called DTL. Is it data transactional? It is DT. Is it TDL? Is it transactional language? I think I don't know don't know why. Data. Is it? Who can give us that language that falls under these transactional, stuff that has these commands? Does anyone remember?
Do you mean the update command?
This update. These are safe mode. Yeah, this safe mode option that allow us to yes.
That's data, the safe option, right?
Yes.
Is the data manipulation language, DML.
DML.
Yes.
Not transaction. Not transaction.
No,
But
no. I think because it falls under manipulation because it affects the table directly. So it's giving us option to fix it.
this one falls under the manipulation. But now the first command,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the first command here
Okay.
that ensures.
That's the one that grants access
Yes,
and
yes, yes,
retrieves access.
yes. So I think it's something like a data
Transactional
transaction.
language.
Yeah. So it is
Transactional
shortened.
language.
It is shortened with what?
Um,
Is it
data
DTL?
transaction. DTL.
Okay, yeah. This is the
Data
name that I was.
transactional.
This is the name that I was looking at. DTL, data transactional language. So you can just refer to it, and then I will get familiar about the safe modes. These stuffs. However, let's try to see if you cover this slide. You have to update the database again to see the email addresses before you do. Select query to get the format right. Then I use the update. So I believe we have covered this slide, right? Have you omitted something?
No, we've covered it.
Okay. So quickly, let's go to slide number 6.
Okay. First off, let's remove the space between the first and last names using replace. You can try this. Is this not what we did before?
Oh, but this is what we did. We began by first removing the white space between the first and the last name, and then I will replace the white space with this full stop. With this full stop, yeah, period.
Then we can use lower. So what I'm asking, should I continue? Because this is actually what we did now, and we've covered this.
Oh yeah, just read
Both the
so that we may go quickly. You can just read what we've covered so that we may not waste time here.
okay. Then we can use lower syntax with the result we just got. Now the name part is correct. Select lower replace employee name. Make it all lowercase from employee. We then use concat to add the rest of the email address. With the syntax, select concat lower replace employee name, comma, in parenthesis, comma, full stop. So, okay, basically.
Yeah. So thank you so much for that. If I can just try to explain these codes in a few before I go to the next slide. So the first command here, the replace command, the replace command helps to replace the strings or anything, maybe to replace the column names or anything, and then the second argument now defines what you are going to replace. Now this first, it has 3 arguments actually. It has more than 3 arguments. So the first argument defines the column name. Then the second argument defines the original thing that I want to modify. Then the third and the rest. No, it has 3 arguments. It has 3 arguments. So the first argument defines the column name. Then the second argument defines the thing that I wanted to replace in that column. Then the third now. Don't know why I'm being confused too early. So the first argument defines the column name. The second argument defines what you want to replace in that column name. Then the third argument defines what you want to replace in that original thing that was there. So this one replaces the space with a full stop because now we have the white space. The white space is the blank space between the first and the last name. Then at the full stop, now this is what is going to replace the white space there. So instead of the white space, it will be the full stop. And then so the second one, now this one it has done that. Then the second one, use now the lower command, and the lower command now will make everything within that column a lowercase. It will make everything within that column a lowercase. And then now when you use now the concat function, when you concatenate every this stuff. So this is where I wanted to say that you can add as many arguments as you want. So the first argument defines the first parameter, then you separate the second parameter with a comma. So this is the first word that you want to concatenate with the other. So in this case, it will be the first name and the last name, which is removed, which the white space is removed and replaced with the dot, and then it's lowercase. Then the second argument will be dog or water, and you can add as many arguments as you want. The concatenation doesn't have the limitation of parameters to include in the concatenation. So I believe we've explained that well.
Quick win. Since you have done this before, you can go ahead and update the email column this time with the email addresses. Just make sure to check if it worked. So this one too, we've done it. Update employee, set employee equals to concat lower, replace email name, employee name with ndogowater.gov. I picked up another bit we have to clean up. Often when databases are created and updated, or information is collected from the different sources, errors creep in. For example, if you look at the phone numbers in the phone number column, the values are stored as strings. The phone numbers should be 12 characters long, consisting of the plus sign, area code 99, and the phone number digits. However, when we use the length column function, it returns 13 characters, indicating there's an extra character. Select length phone number from employee. That's because there's a space at the end of the number. If you try to send an automated SMS to that number, it will fail. This happens so often that they create a function, especially for trimming off the space called trim column. It removes any leading or trailing spaces from a string.
Oh, thank you. I think this slide, it has two information. I think this is attached to the other slide. So in this case, after you've done the modification here, then you've used this the select and you view the column is working fine. Then you can do what you can do now, the update. And we've realized that you have to use another sub language for this one to work. The language that has the sub language that has the save points, that is data transactional language, DTL, data transactional language, to enable first of all to turn off the save points, the save mode, so that you can be able to update. We realize that by default you can't update, it is always locked. And we realize that when it is 1, this is the command here, I guess, I didn't delete. So when it is 0, it means that you are turning off. So these command is for data transactional. So this one allows you to have to grant access, to permit to allow access, for example, to update the table, or when you give it 1, it means that you are denying the access. And then now here we use the data manipulation language, the update, and then now the set defines what needs to be modified, or what needs to be set within that table, or what changes needs to be done in that table. So in this case, we are updating the employee table, and we are setting the email column with the information that we had here, like the information like we removed it, we combined the first and the last name, and then we made them lowercase. Then we concatenated with the dogwater.gov. Then we made it a one string, a one stuff called an email. And then we updated it in the email address. So this was linked to the other slide. And then now he went ahead and say, I picked up another bit we have to clean up. Often when databases are created and are updated, or information is collected from different sources, errors creep in. For example, if you look at the phone number in the phone number column, the values are stored as strings. Let's first of all check. And by there you can always use the data dictionary to identify the data types. The data types. So you can see the phone number part here. This is the contact of the employee name, and then you can see it is varchar. Varchar stands for variable characters, which means that for example, if you are given you have been told, for example, the maximum number of characters that you can enter there is, let's say, something like 200 or 100. So it means that when you write, for example, 10 characters, it will still work. But now if it were just char without the varchar, it will mean that, for example, if you are told to have 50 characters within that input, then it will mean that when you add, for example, 10 characters and leave the rest, it will mean that it will populate the rest of the spaces. For example, if you wrote 10 words, then it will populate the rest with other stuff like zeros. It will replace it with any. No, that is for. It will replace it with it, or it will throw an error if you have the validation stuff. So when you use the varchar, it means that it's a character though, but you can do anything. It is a variable. There's variation. You can write either of them, but all the varchar and the char, they are for strings, strings. They define the characters. So the maximum number of characters, including the white space. The white space is also a character. Also, a dot is a character. The comma is a character. So the variable character they're all strings. So you can tell that the phone number is a string. Is a string. So you can tell let's get there. The phone number should be characters, 12 characters long, consisting of the plus sign, the area code, the phone number. I think I was here. I picked up another bit we have to clean up. Often when databases are created and updated, or information is collected from different sources, error creeps in. If you look at the phone number in the phone number column, the value are stored as strings, and we've confirmed that. So in the data definition, the dictionary part, we realized that it was a string. It was truly a string. So it is stored as string, the data type. And then the second bit, it says the phone number should be 12 characters long, consisting of the plus sign, area code, and the phone number digits. However, when we use the length column, it returns this stuff. So let's try to check on this one. Now we want to so we are still at the employee column. I think for persistence, for consistency, is it consistency or a persistence? Or for continuation, because I don't want to skip into to go to different scripts all the time. I want us to stick with one script file so that we may be commenting one another. I don't know if this is the original guess, so let's stick with the other one. So that we can always revert to the original one in case you want to do something. You can just check on that. So basically, we want to check on the employee table, and I want just to do a count and see if it is true it has 12 or 13 characters, because I says that the phone number should be 12 characters long, consisting of the plus sign and the area code. However, when we use this length column function, it returns 13 characters, indicating that there's an error. So let's first of all try to check on that. Again to our part. So here we just want to do a count. on the on what? On the phone number. We want to do a count on the phone number, count. So in that case, we'll use the command called count. So with the count command, you're able now to count the number of, you can count the number of what? Wait, what are we doing? What are we doing here? No, we want to obtain the length, not, remember now the count counts the number of rows. Now, if you want to obtain the number of characters, we'll use the length. We'll use the length. In fact, I think also they gave us the command there. The length, this one will give us the number of characters, but when you use the count, it gives you the number of rows within that column, I guess. So let's try to run this one and see the number of characters. Yeah, the number of characters. Now, yeah, so you can tell this is the phone number, column, and you can see that all of them are 13 characters. So it is true that it has an error. So for instance, let's try to count just manually. For example, on this other one, let me just count. We have the plus. Let me just count. So let me just do this. Paste. So I don't know if I'll count it very well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So it is 12. It is 12. When you just count this stuff, when you just count this phone number is 12. But now it is returning what? It is returning 13. When you do a count, with the query, with the SQL, you can see that it is returning 13. So it means that there is an error. And if we read again, so he says that it indicates that there is an extra character. Remember, I told you earlier that that in SQL it counts the white space as a character, it counts the comma as a character, it counts the full stop as a character. So most likely there's a white space. There's a white space because it usually counts. Because when I just copy this part and then I paste it here, you see where my cursor now is, where this blinking stuff is. You can see there's a space. So it means that there's something which is left there. So this tells me that there's a white space. So though we are not sure, so we need to do some cleaning. Because there's a space at the end of the number, if you try to send an automated SMS to that number, it will fail. This happens often, so often that they create a function especially for trimming of the space called the trim column. It removes any leading or a trailing space. So basically, you can use the trim. Trim will can remove either of them. It can remove maybe the white space at the start or at the end. But if you want to be specific, you can use the L trim. For example, if you want to trim on the left hand side, or R trim if you want to trim from the right hand side, the right side of that stuff. I don't know. So but basically when you use now, the trim is appropriate because we are unsure if the white space is at the start or at the end. So we can use now the trim command. So can someone just give us that query quickly? Command. Can someone give us the command to trim? Are we together? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know for others. I can actually hear you.
But there you can always make some noise there so that I can tell that I have people following. Because the other time I realized that I went so much, yet people were not. Yet I wasn't online. I wasn't present. So
I'll notify you if you are off.
Yes. Yes.
I'll notify you if you are off. Don't worry.
Yes. So, and again, you can always tell me, for example, if I ask something, you can either say you know or you don't know. Other than keeping quiet, it makes the call so long. It will make this video to be very long. The people need to rest, especially someone like me. Yesterday I slept like around 5 in the morning, so I need to do some. We need to finish it fast, faster. However, let's just do that quickly. So we want to do what we want to trim. We want to trim the white space in that phone number part. So we shall use the command called trim, and we say that the trim command can remove the white space either at the start or at the end. So this one I can remove in end of them. But if I want to remove maybe the white space from the right hand side, you can use the R trim to remove the right hand side or the left trim. But now in this case, let's just use trim because they also say that I'll use the trim. So we want to trim what? We want to trim which column? We are trimming the phone number part, right?
Yes.
And then from this table. Yeah, I guess the command is the command right? Is the command correct? The trim, we are trimming the phone number column so that it may remove the white space, and then we do what we first of all we are not
So I want to understand if you are trimming, are we not specifying if it's from R or LU trim?
basically when you use now the trim command, so the trim is like a general one. It can either remove, it will just detect if there's a white space at the start or at the end. It will trim either of them. But if the right, when you use the R trim, it will be strict for trimming the white space at the right hand side. And then when you use now the L trim, it will remove the white space at the left hand side. But now when you use the trim, this is a general one. It combines both the left and right. So if it finds the white space at the start, it will remove the white space. But if the white space is at the end, it will remove the white space there at the end.
Okay.
Thank you. So if we still want to see the number of characters,
yes,
we add length before trim. So like we enclose now all of them so that it can all read.
Yes.
It can tell us the new length.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So we say that I will use length. I usually confuse length with something called count. What is the spelling for length? Length. Is it TH? Length. What's the spelling for length?
LENGTH.
G. There's G somewhere, length, or then a TH.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Wow, it worked. You can see now it returns 12 characters. Now let's try with the other one. I said that you can as well use the R. Let's try with this one and see if it will return what. If it will return, you can see as well it returns what, 12. But when you use L, because this one specifies the left white space, to trim the white space at the left hand side. So I think this one won't work. It will return 13. You can see it returns 13. So there's a limitation. It's a good practice to use the trim because this one can remove in either side. It can remove either at the left or at the right. It will just detect. So I believe we are good at this side.
If you use the R trim, it will also fix it correctly.
Yeah, so when you use the the R, it will fix. And so sometimes you are not sure if the white space is either at the left or at the right. That's why we use the trim, because this one it will detect automatically where there's a white space, and then it will trim for you. Because if you are not sure about if the white space is at the right, when you use the R definitely will do the trim. Let me R trim. This one will work because we just guessed that the white space is at the end. Then that's why we specify the R trim. So this one still work because we already know that the white space is at the left hand side, at the right hand side. But if you don't know, and then you assume that the white space is at the left, then it will automatically not work. It won't work. So when you use now the trim general one, this one will just detect where the white space is, and it removes on both sides, either at the left and at the right. Yeah, so both works. The one which is correct will work if you are sure. If you are sure about which place it has the white space. But if you are not sure where the side that there is a white space, then just use the trim. If you are not sure, just use the trim, because this one will detect automatically without you going through everything and try to identify. Are we good at this slide? Or have you understood? Did I forgot to ask?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. You can read.
Okay. Use string to write a select query again. Make sure we get the string without the space, and then update the record like we just did for the emails. If you need more information about trim, Google trim documentation MySQL rather. Honoring the workers. Before we dive into analysis, let's get you warm up a bit. Let's have a look at where our employees live. Use the employee table to count how many of our employees live in each town. Think carefully about what function we should use and how we should aggregate the data.
I think there's something else. Let's finish with this first paragraph. So to update, by the way, we forgot. So basically, with this one, we just use the select. This one just help you to see it on the output, but it's not affecting the table. So to affect the table, the first thing that you realize you have to do to turn off, to set the safe mode, off, to turn off. So because we did earlier, so you don't have to repeat it again. Then the next thing, instead of select, you'll use now the update. Use the update, then you specify the table that you want to update. So in our case, the table that we want to update is the employee table, and I must specify now the database, because you might have several databases that has the employees, so you have to be specific. And then I will use now the set to give what? Use now the set to update it, to set it to with the new values, So we are going to do what? We are going to set what? The phone number column, right?
I set the column name to this new figure, to this new code.
Can you raise your voice? I can't hear you well.
I will set the column name, which is the phone number,
Yes.
to this new one,
Yes.
this new length. But we are going to remove the length if we are to set it.
Absolutely. Very true. That's correct. We have to remove now the length. We want to remove now the length. But there, let me just align it in a single line. Now, how will I do that? Let me just remove this white space here like that. Then I'll remove this extra parenthesis. So in this case, it will do what? It will replace. It will remove all the.
Hello, can anyone hear me? I can't hear anything again.
Can other people
It
hear
is
me?
your network. Log out and come back in. Everybody can stay here.
Okay, but I believe the rest can hear.
Please go on.
Okay, so basically, for this update to let me repeat what I said. So for the update to work, to update for the data manipulation,
Again,
to
we can't
work.
see your screen again.
You can see the screen.
Yes. We can't see the screen.
You cannot see the screen.
Screen, correct.
Let me stop sharing, then I'll try to reshare again. Maybe it will be visible. Are you able to see the screen now? Can other people see the screen? Are other people able to see the screen?
No, not yet. Or am I?
Alright, let me try. Let me try to log out and log
We are
in.
not yet
I can
seeing the
see your screen, Mama.
Okay,
I
thank you.
can see it.
Okay, thank you. Even if I'm in this other page, you are still able to see.
Yeah.
We can see it.
Okay, thank you. So basically, to repeat what was said here about the update. So we realized that before you do an update, but there is something that I've also learned here, that before you do an update, you must first of all confirm that everything is working before you make the changes. Because previously we were using the select just to preview the changes before you make an update. And to make an update, we realize that you have first of all to turn off the safe mode, because by default and the safe mode is 1 is set to true. So when it is at the safe mode, like for instance, let me turn it to 1. Let me try turn it to 1, and then I'll try to run this command. Yeah, so I've set this safe mode to true, to on. So now when I try to run this command, it won't work. When you just try to run this one, you can see there's an error here at the bottom. It won't work, it won't update. So this is the data transactional language. Under this is a sub language of SQL called DTL, data transactional language. So this one helps you to do something when you are in the sober mind, so that you cannot make changes without knowing. You must, because when you go to the every process and then you turn it off, I think you'll be sure on what you are going to do. So with this command, it helps you to turn it first of all off. When you use 0, one is like true, 0 is like false, true, false, or on, off. 0 is like now off. When you run this one again, it will mean that you are turning off the safe mode. So in this case, you are able now to update the table. Yeah, you're able now to update the table. So you'll see that when I run now, before I run the update now, someone told us that it falls under the data manipulation language, and so we are updating this employee table from the MD_water services database. So this is the first argument here defines the database, then the second one defines the column name, because you can have several databases that has employee. So it's a good idea. We realize that it's a good idea first of all to identify the database that you want to retrieve or to update the employee part, the employee table. So here we are going to modify the employee table, and we are going to set it to the new values, the values that do not have the white spaces, because we use the trim. The trim help us to remove the spaces. The white space is this space. The space, just space. When you just click on the tab, this space, the indentation, this space here is called the white space. Or here, this space that is left here is what we call the white space. Now, for instance, in our case, initially, this part, it had the white space. When you just paste it here, sorry, let me try to copy again, and then I paste it here. Now you can see where my cursor is blinking it has left some space at the other side. So this tells me that there's a space which is left there, by default. but you can't be sure. You can't detect that it is truly the white space. Maybe it's just your cursor that is that has a problem. So if you are unsure about which place there's a white space, then you can use what you can use the trim. Trim, it will detect. It can trim either side. You can trim on the left, or it can trim on the right side. But if you want to be specific, you want to trim maybe on the left hand side, you'll use the L trim, which stands for left trim, and the R trim stand for the right trim. Then this one will trim the right hand side. So for us, we can know that the right trim will work because we are sure that the white space is at the right hand side. But if you are unsure, you can just use the trim because this one will detect automatically the side where there is a white space. So once you turn this off, when you run this one, I think it will work. So you can see now we have an update. We have updated that database. So if you want to run again that table, let me just uncomment this one. I thought I had this command on the main. Do I have it here? Yeah, it's here. Let me now comment this one. Then no, this one. Now let me use this one. Let me just use this one. Let me just use this one. So let me run, and then so you can't tell that the white space is removed. So let's do a count. So to do a count, there's a command already for us here. So to actually to count the number of characters. Now when you use the count, I usually confuse. When you use a count, that one counts the records, the rows. But when you use the length, this counts the characters of a record, of a particular record, an individual record when you use the length. But when you use the count, it counts the rows. So when I run, now you can see it returns 12, which means that the table is now modified. So I believe people have understood that.
Yes, you can go on.
Yes. Okay. And then I think you had read this part. Let me try to understand first of all, honoring the workers before we dive into the analysis. Let's get you warmed up a bit. Let's have a look at where our employee lives. Employee live. Use the employee table to count how many of our employees live in each town. Think carefully about what function we should use and how we should aggregate the data. So in this case, we need to find a table that displays basically it should be the employee table still, that has the information about the where the employee live, because of that is addresses and all that. So he's saying that use the employee table to count how many of our employee live in each town. Think carefully about what function we should use and how we should aggregate the data. So here guys, we can use the group by, right? We can use the group by, and then we shall do the so this one will help us to identify how many, for example, how many people live in a particular region. Maybe I don't know. It is are they saying about the, let me is it town? Let me first of all read and understand this part.
So we are using town name. We are using town name.
Oh yeah, town
To
name. Oh,
we are grouping by town name
yes,
and
yes,
counting.
yes. So use the employee table to count how many of our employees live in each town. So the table that we are going to identify the number is the town. So think carefully about function that we should use to aggregate this one. So back to this one. So we are going to select. I want it to return two things. The one value that will display the values that we are using to aggregate, of which they say that it is town. So we shall select, and the first thing is town, and the it is town name, right? Town name, right? town name, and then the other thing should display the so it's a comma to separate table, columns. So the next thing it should display the number of, let me read again.
Number of people.
Number of employees. How many employee lives in each town? Think carefully about what function we should use. To aggregate this one. So now the other thing that we are going to use is I'm trying to understand this one.
If I was to suggest,
yes,
I'll suggest that we select the entire star.
Yes.
Then we count we group by the town name, and we count what we group by. That is, we count town name, star of town name.
Yes.
Star of town name, then group by town name. Then, but we select all the records star.
Yeah. So now, give us the code, then I will try to explain later. So just give us. So you say that I use the star, and
then select star from the table.
From the it is still the employee table, right?
Yes, from the employee table.
Not should be somewhere here. Yeah.
Yes.
And then
okay, so I'm thinking that
Yes.
Yes, we group by the town name.
Group by, we are using town name.
Select star for group by town name. Then we can now I think we can put count star. I think we have to use count before group by. So count, then we open a bracket and put asterisk. Or we put count town name as well.
It seems I don't understand what they are saying.
I said the count. The count command will come before group by, isn't it?
Before data group by. Now we want to
Yes, I think group by comes. Count comes before group by.
Now
we want to count the number of people, right?
Yes, you want to count the number of people. Can we use the window function here? I think, or a different will work. But let's first of all finish with your what? So I think in that case now we'll have to do what you will have to specify.
Okay.
You will have to specify first of all the tables. Let's just do this. Let's just specify the columns, and then at the other one will to display now the number of people who are in the same what. In the same, we are going to do what we are going to account. So the next thing is going to count to display the count. For example, for people living, for example, in which town? This we can say we have several towns. For example, Ilanga, Roro, and all that. So the first thing should be now should display the table for town name, and then now this next column should display now the should display what?
Can I try?
Yes.
Can I try?
Sure.
So we select town name.
Yes.
Then we are counting the number of employees in each town.
Yes.
So we count employee name.
Employee name.
Then from the employees table, of course, then we group by town name.
Yes, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. You are very right. So we can use also an alias here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just give it like can I use what? What can I use as an alias? Number. Let me just say something like number of people. Number of people, or what name can I use, or anything? Number of people. Let me just use as number of people. So the first column will display the town name, and then the second one it will display the number of people in each town, right? So I guess everything is right? Everything is fine.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. So let's try to run and see if it will work. Wow, this is wonderful. You can see it works. So once again, if I can try to explain, or can you explain for us kindly the commands here? Can you explain it to people so that they may understand what you did?
Okay. So we are selecting the town name. We've been told. Let me just read the
Let me.
slide.
Yes, you can read.
So use the employee table to count how many of our employees live in each town. So that's why we are selecting the town name, so that we can find out how many employees are in a particular town. So we have to have the town name column. Then we've been told to count the employees. So that's why we have the count employee command. Then, of course, from the employees table, then now we group by town, since we want to see how many employees are in each of those towns.
Wow. That's wonderful. That's wonderful explanation. And I believe everyone has understood that. Just remember that at the group by, just to add on what she said, the group by help us to do the aggregation, because when you just do the count without doing the group by, it will count everything. But now when you do the group by, it will be like it will partition, it will group. It will, for example, for people who are in a particular region or a particular town, it will count only people within that region. And then, for example, it is Ilanga, so it will do the summation for people living that Ilanga. Then it will go to rural, then it will do the summation for that town name. So the group by just help us to to partition or to split the data, so that SQL can count only the regions, the town names only. So it will output only the results from each town name, the summation of people living in that town name. And I don't want to even to add on what she said. I think I'll confuse people. Thank you so much for that. I believe people understood. And always, if there's no question, we can always move to the next slide. Can someone read kindly? Hello, am I live?
Yes, you're live.
Yes. Can someone read for us, please? Or does anyone have a question there? Because I think, are we done with this slide?
Yes, we are done with it.
Okay, then someone can read for us the next slide.
I get this. Town name, number of employees, that's the result. Note how many of our workers are living in small communities in the rural part of Majindogo. President Naledi congratulated the team for completing the survey, but we would not have this data were it not for our field workers. So let's gather some data on their performance in this process. so we can thank those who really put all their effort in. President Naledi has asked we send out an email or message congratulating the top 3 field surveyors. So let's use the database to get the employees' IDs and use those to get their names, email and phone numbers of the 3 field surveyors with the most location visits.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for reading. Now, so this first part, I think they just want to confirm that your results should be the same here. And if you can just to do a comparison, you'll find out that, for example, this one has Ilanga 3, rural 29. Then when you just compare with ours, you can see it is Ilanga is 3, and then rural is 29. So you can just know that you're on the same page. So not how many of our workers are living in smaller communities. Not how many of our workers are living in the smaller communities in the rural parts of Majindogo. And you can tell that it is 29, of their workers. And then the next part, I think, is saying that the president just congratulated the field workers for doing an excellent job. And then he's trying to tell us that we need to do some evaluation, some queries, so that we can retrieve the information of the top field surveyors, and then send them an email. Does anyone have something to add here so that we may understand everything? This slide, maybe if I haven't.
Please, Shogo, can you mute yourself, please? There's so much noise coming out from your side.
Oh, so you didn't even hear me? Okay, let me try to repeat or not I understood about this slide. So this first part, they're just doing the comparison. So when they display here, it means that for you to be on the same page with him, should be a replica, should resemble, like I can see. For ours, it has returned Ilanga 3 people, 3 employee, rural 29. When you just do a comparison, you will see that it is similar. And he says that not how many of our workers are living in smaller communities in the rural part of Majindogo. So the rural part, you can see that the employees who come from the rural part, they are 29. And then this other part, I see the president just wanted to congratulate, or I don't know if she already congratulated, but she wanted to congratulate the top 3 field surveyors for doing the wonderful work. So he's suggesting that we do some queries to filter or to identify who are these top 3 field surveyors. So let's look at let's use the database to get employees IDs in this day. Can someone just give us the highlight of what is here, or the summary, the explanation, if I didn't got it well?
So from what I read, the president congratulated the team for completing this survey, which is this previous query that we ran, and is asking to kind of send messages to the top 3 field surveyors. So what they're asking of is to use the database to get the employers' IDs and use those to get the names, email, and phone numbers of the top 3 field workers with the most location visits. So the president already thanked them for the job they did, but he's asking to get the top 3 surveyors. So that's what is required of us, to use their email, their phone numbers, and their employer's ID to locate the top 3.
Oh, okay. So within the employees table, we have what we call the IDs. Let me just confirm. The assigned employee ID. Yeah, sure, we have the assigned employee. No, he said what? The employee's ID. Yeah, so the employee's ID goes to get the names and email and the phone numbers. So I think let's try to read the next slide, and then we shall see maybe. Yeah, basically we should read this part before we can begin.
Okay. Let's first look at the number of records each employee collected. So find the correct table, figure out what function to use and how to group, order and limit the results to only see the top 3 employees' IDs with the highest number of locations visited. You should get a table like this, but in a different order. Make a note of the top 3 assigned employee ID and use them to create a query that looks up the employee's info. Since you are a pro at finding stuff in a database now, you can figure this one out. You should have a column of names, email addresses, and phone numbers for our top dogs. I'll send that off to President Naledi. But this survey is not primarily about employees, so let's get working on the main task. We'll start looking at some of the tables in the data set at a larger scale. Identify some trends, summarize important data, and draw insights.
Now with these 2 slides, I think now we can connect. We can know what he was meaning. He meant. So now basically the top surveyors. They counted the top surveyors based on the number of visits, based on what I've read here, the location visited. So it's the number of visits. So we should use, I guess we should now use the visits table to identify which employees, they had, many, or they visited location many times. So first of all, let's try to retrieve the visits table. I guess I'm just assuming that it is here, why it has the number of visits. Just assuming that it's at the visits here. So you can see it has the visits count. So we need to write a query that will display the maximum. It will sort, or it will sort such that the most visit count will be displayed here at the top, so that we can use the ID within that one. Then we will retrieve. We will now use, because they are related. Anything that I remember yesterday, they said that something that has an ID at the end, underscore ID, it is related to another. And by the in most SQL, we say that SQL is more for relational databases. So it is always linked, related to one another. So if you have, for example, this assigned employee ID in this other table, it means it has some relationship with the other table, like at this employee table. When you just run without the this part, you can see it has the assigned employee ID. Then also, I think I should clear the other things that we don't use here. Yeah, so what did I remove the? Oh, it's this one. This is the main script that we are using. So when you just compare the employee, you can see it has the assigned employee ID. Then when you go to the visits, it also has the assigned employee ID. So basically what we are going to do, we are going to sort out the top, or we are going to sort out the top visit count. Then within it, we shall be able to retrieve, and then we shall limit the return, so that it can only display the first 3 top, or the first 3 records. Then because we have the assigned ID, we can use that ID now to retrieve the information, like the phone number, the names from the other table. because in this one, in the visit count, it doesn't display the name. It doesn't display the name or the phone number, but we have the ID, the foreign key here, the foreign key. So we can use now that foreign key to retrieve information like the phone number, the names from the other table. So I believe I got it. If someone has a better explanation, can give us before we begin the query. Does anyone have something to add on? Maybe I didn't understood this part well.
I actually wanted to ask a question.
Yes.
Okay, so when you select a code that you want to comment,
Yes.
what do you press that once you've selected it, highlighted it, what do you press that gives it automatically, that gives all the lines dash automatically?
Oh, okay. To create a multi-line comment.
Because I saw you do it.
Yes. Wonderful. Thank you for observing that. Now, to make a multi-line comment at an instant, you just select everything, then you click on Control. If you are on Windows operating system, Control plus /. / is this thing. It has this operator. So Control plus /. So if you are on Mac, it is a command. You use command then that /.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Now back to this one. Because before you do the query, you must first of all understand what you are going to do. So does anyone has any information maybe to add on before you begin the query? And I think we skipped this slide. We linked these two slides because you must read all of them for you to understand what he was trying to mean. Or my explanation is right, we can begin to query, or you have something to add?
Or can you just read it again?
Okay, now, so basically, the president wanted to congratulate the top 3 field surveyors. So he wants us to get the information about those top 3 field surveyors. So to get information like the phone number and all that, we can't know because we can't know directly because it in the employees part we don't have information about, for example, the number of visits they visited in those locations and all that. So we'll have to look on a different table and identify the employees who visited the location many times. So when we find the information about the people who visited those locations several times, then because they are linked with this foreign key and the primary key. Now foreign key is like actually a reference from the primary key. The primary key provides the unique information about maybe a user or a record. Let me use a record because we can have something different. So this one, the primary key provides unique information. Like for example, if you have an identity of your country, it is just unique to, actually, it's only assigned to one person. But now, for example, if you want to use that that ID, now here in Kenya, you can as well use the ID. For example, if you are filling the KRA pin, when you just type there your ID number, it will populate information, for example, your name, location, and all that. I don't know if it's KRA number that returns all the information about that, but it is unique. So the primary key is unique, but when you use it on a different instance or a different aspect, it will be a foreign key, but there's a relationship there. So you can see in the employee table, we have the assigned employee ID column. And then when you go to the visits table, we also have the assigned employee ID. So because in the employee ID it doesn't show the records where we have the visit count, so we can use a different table like the visits table. Then I will be able to find the IDs. So after we've filtered out the maximum the people, the individuals who had the maximum number of, the maximum number of, they are not the maximum, the highest number of visits. We can use now the information, the IDs, then do a query on the employees part and be able to identify the number. I think they said the phone number, the email address. Let me just check. So she wanted to get the names, email, and the phone numbers. So this was my understanding on what she meant here. I don't know if I got it, because I must first of all understand before you do the query. Is it in order, or someone has a better explanation?
I think it's in order.
Okay. So now, if it's okay, then we can go now to the visits. Now I said that I will have to use, I want us to use just a single script so that we can reference back to them later. So it is in the visits table. Now we are selecting all from the visits table, and then we are going to do what we are going to, because we want to do what we want to sort. We want to sort like we want to do what we want to get the records, or the individuals who had the highest number of visits. But they can someone try to give us the command as I try to take here water. It seems I've talked a lot. I talked so much. So can someone just give us a command here as I drink here some water before I continue, kindly? Hello. Can someone tell us?
So I was thinking that we could say select all columns, which we have done, from the visit table, which we have done. Then we group by assign employee ID, then order in descending order, then limit it to 5. So we show the top 5, and we can bring out the top 3 from it.
Now, when you use wherever you use the group by, it means that you are doing the aggregation. But now here we just want to identify the ID. By there you are right. You are right. We have to use the group by a command here. Yeah, sure. Because someone can have several, can visit several times. You can have a particular ID, individual that visits different location. So it is true we have to use the aggregation here, so the group by. So you are saying that I will use the select, then from this table, then you saying that I use the group by. The group. Let's finish this one, then we shall go back and then try to modify our. So first of all, let me see this group by. Group by. So which command you are using?
Employee ID.
Yes. Group by assigned employee.
Employee ID.
Okay, so it is at the visits. No, it's with them using a different thing. I thought I should be here. Yeah, visits. Then you say data group by assigned employee ID. Assigned employee ID. Why is it? Just a minute. I try to understand. Yeah. So assigned employee ID. Assigned employee ID is here. And then so it should be something like, is it ascending or a descending? If you want to get the highest.
Descending.
So it is this one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
the limit. We have to put limit.
Oh yeah, limit. Sure. Because they say that I want to limit to the 3. She wants to congratulate only 3 people. So we use now the the limit to 3.
3. But the semicolon
Should be
is
removed.
also there. Yeah.
Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. First of all, I think there's an error here. I think there's something that we didn't do it right. I think there's something that is not correct here.
Is the assigned employee ID not supposed to be in parentheses as to accommodate the descending order? Just
what?
asking. Like it will be in parentheses. The group by the assigned employees employee ID.
This one.
No.
Hello.
Is it not supposed to be?
Descending is under order by, not group by.
Oh, sure. You are right. That's the issue. So group by, and then we again. So it follows after the group by order before. So it's after.
Yeah. After, so you say order by probably the visit count,
Very little.
because that's the number.
Yes. So again, now we are going to do it. We are going to. Can I use it as an alias here? Let me just use it the way it is. So again, I'll define this one. You're grouping by
Visit count, not the assigned ID.
so it's
Visit
group.
count. This is just an assigned ID. So if we order by that means we'll get it wrong, because we'll see like the employee who was given the biggest number will be on top, but that's not the idea. The idea is to get the visit.
Oh, so it is visit count. Visit count like that, right?
Yes, descending.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you. So, there's an error. So let's first of all try to understand this thing better.
I think I grouped by both. Let me see what I did. I think I grouped by both the assigned employee ID and visit count, and it was okay. So I don't know. I think it has to do with aggregation. The way group by requires at least an aggregated column. Is it an aggregated column or something like that?
I have a different one.
Yes.
You select not all, but assign the employee ID column. Then you count the visit counts.
Visit count.
As you can give it an alias, maybe number of visits.
Number of visits, yeah. Visits.
Then that's correct, from visits. Then you group by assigned ID and order by assigned ID.
Order
order by assigned employee ID.
Sorry to interrupt.
Because I've used alias here. Yeah, you can go ahead, please, kindly.
Why are we saying count the visit count, and the visit count already indicates the visit count? That means we'll end up counting each unique record, and we might not, because you see it's visit count already. So if you are going to say maybe someone is duplicated several times, some would be ideal, and not the count, because it's already a visit count. That's my thinking. So that's why I've interrupted. I don't know whether they are duplicates when it comes to employee ID, like maybe they have like this time 2 times, this time 3 times, but I don't think we can count.
I'm saying count because we are basically counting, like for example,
I was thinking, I think
we can, just like our code say, rather than using, we should count the visit count in bracket as visit count. Why don't we count the entire column? Because that visit count, as we put visit count in bracket, to count non-null values. So if we put star in bracket, rather, it will count whether the values are null or not. So I think we can do that. That's the second line of the code. The count.
Before we do that, can we give her a chance to finish what she was saying? Then we shall try also.
Oh, was she talking? Sorry, I didn't know. I didn't hear. Sorry.
You can finish what you are talking, please.
Okay, so we order by assigned employee.
Or order by.
Yeah. Then you limit 3. Remove the descending.
Oh, the descending. So let me just copy first of this one. Descending.
Yeah. Just try and run it.
Now, before we run, can you try to explain what the command here does?
So, what I've understood is we are selecting from the 2 columns. That's the assigned ID, employee ID, and then the visit count. So we are trying to count how many times one particular employee has visited, how many visits they've done, so that we can say that this is the best person since they have the a large amount of visits. So that's why I thought of we count the visit counts, and then now we are grouping by the assigned employee ID. So we want to see this particular individual, how many visits does he have? That's why we are grouping, and we are grouping by assigned ID and ordering by assigned employee ID.
Wow, this is so wonderful. I think.
So I don't know if you could write. Just try and run it and see if it works.
Yeah, before I run that, to see if I understood you well, it seems like a particular employee can have several visits, can visit several locations. You can have a particular person who can visit different locations, different locations. So you are doing a count because I want to count, maybe he visited a different location maybe twice, then at the other location he visited maybe thrice or 10 times. So you want to do the aggregation of those visits within that person, then identify the number of visits that he did, then it goes the same to another person. So you do now the summation, you find out which person visited different location many times, visited those sources many times. So I believe you are right. Your approach is right. Let's first of all try to run it and see if it will work. Wow, and it worked. Yeah, this is wonderful. So you see that her approach is correct because I have the information. So essentially, a particular person with an ID can have several. Yes.
I still want to ask about how we are counting the visit count.
Yes.
Because if you just able so that we can just look at it together, could you please pull like the visits the visits table, just pull it like in another tab.
Visits
table. You had pulled it somewhere. The visits table.
Yes.
So Ebu just scroll down on the visit count.
Visit count, yes.
You'll see there are people who have gone like 3 times, 4 times, under one employee ID, right?
Yes.
So when we count, it means we are counting those 4 times as one instance.
Yes.
But if we sum, it means we will sum every instance. So if it's 4, there's another place there is 5, there's another place there is 6, then that means we do a sum of the visit count rather than.
Oh,
rather than the count. That's what I meant, because it's already a count. They are counting every instance. So you sum all the times that this shows up.
Yes, exactly. I get your nakupata vizuri. I think so. I think we should now use the sum instead of the count, because now the count, it counts just one record instead of counting the because for example, he has visited maybe thrice, but now because the count counts only the record, so it will count.
Please, can I?
Yes. You can talk.
Okay. I think otherwise though,
Yes.
because the group by function negation.
Yes.
So it's up. So every single employee ID that makes a count, it does the sum of it.
Yes.
So if it's 4 that is there, and he has another employee ID, the same employee ID does another one that is 1 visit, it sums it up to 5, not 2.
Yes.
So what I think is that we say, as the code is, inside that bracket,
Yes.
because we cannot say the exact values that are in the visit count. Why don't we count the entire row, whatever entry is there? So instead of putting visit count in the row, we say count the entire visit count column. That's count star as number of visits, right? From the visit table, group by assigned employee ID.
Now,
Then it will bring in, they will arrange it in descending order.
now,
Okay, let me just explain what I'm saying.
yes,
The count
yes.
inside the bracket. Yes. Can you just remove the visit count there and put a star there?
Let me use a different.
No. Okay.
Let me just, because we'll be able to revert to it later. So you say?
So let's just copy that code. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So instead of visit count in the brackets.
Yes. So instead of
visit count in the bracket there, the asterisk.
Asterisk.
Yes, then we put an asterisk there. Yes, so it counts all the rows as number of visits from the visit table, go by assigned employee, yes, order by, then it orders by the number of visits.
Order by number of visits.
Orders by the number of visits. So we are now using the
visit count should be visit count.
So we are after doing the sum, we are now looking at the highest number of visits. We should order it by number.
Pardon?
Okay. No, you know that we have counted. No, we are giving it an alias as number of visits. That's what I said. We are ordering by that number of visits now.
The number of visits, this part.
The alias we gave in the second. Yes.
Here.
Yes.
So okay. Yeah.
We are using the alias. Yes. We are ordering by that count. Exactly. So we are now. We should also put it in descending order so it brings the highest to the top.
Like that.
Yes, exactly.
Then I run.
Yes, please.
Okay. So we get this information, but let's first of all, because we also tried. We saw the other one also had the same different results. Then when we run this one also, it will give us a different result. Let me uncomment and then I try to understand what she was talking about here. and then I shall compare what can be correct for us, because we have several answers. So I think this was the part that she was trying to tell us. Now, based on this code, so basically her approach was to do the summation. I think she was to do the summation, because in a particular visit, a visit can display. For example, you can see the visit count. There's a visit that has maybe 4, the other one has 5, another one has 8, and all that. Now, because they are trying to ask us to identify the individuals who visited many times in different different location. So we want to count. For example, visit in the location 1, he visited maybe 5 times. Location the other one, he visited another time. So we want to do the summation of those visits to count everything, and then we will try to identify which visit, ID employee did the most, because they can have several IDs. They can have, like you can see, this is a good example. Like you can see, this is a single employee, but you can see he appears. I don't know if it's he or she. He appears twice. So for you to identify maybe the number of visits he did, because maybe this is location 1, he visited 26 times. Then at the other location, he visited 62 times. So to understand or to get the information about the number of visits, I think we have to do the summation. The visit from location 1 to the visit of location 2, maybe the visit from another location. Then because we use the group by, so we'll be grouping by the employee, so it will be returning the results from just a particular employee, maybe employee with this ID 8. So it will be doing the summation of the instances or the location that he visited. Then it will just count. It will just count the locations, the visits in those locations. For example, location 1, location 2, it will count everything because we grouped by. So it will return just a single result based on that employee ID. So this was his approach. And then for yours, let's first of all, let me run here hers, and then I see.
Hello.
Yes.
Before you run, you need to change the order by, because if you order by assigned employee ID, it means it's going to give numbers according to how the employees were given their ID. So you see the way it has given you 0, 1, 2, instead of ordering by the number of visits, which is what we really need to see, so that we can see who is top performer.
Oh, sure. That's correct. So so it is. Oh, so visit, can we use it as an alias, right? So it should be the alias instead of visit, because I will use it as an alias. Let's try to run it once again, and then we get this information. And then so we've explained, I think
make it descending.
Descending. So order by, then descending.
I think we should read that question carefully.
Yeah, sure. Let's just.
Because it's saying,
yes.
Let's first look at the number of records each employee collected, and then it ends by saying,
yes.
See the top 3 employee IDs with the highest number of locations, the locations that they visited.
How were they?
So I might go to, for example, Nairobi.
Yes.
Twice.
Yes.
But will they count it as I've gone? Will they count it that I've gone twice or I've gone to one location? But I might go to Nairobi twice, then I go to Kiambu maybe 3 times. How will we count that? Will we count 2 locations, or are we counting 3 plus 2? The number
if it's by location, then I agree with you.
So I think
Yeah, I think we need to understand the question.
yes, I agree also. Let's just read. I think we did not understand this part. So can someone just read for us again so that we can just understand this part very well before we do anything? Is it or did it, I think it began from the other side, is it? Or yeah, it began I think from this slide. Yeah. So can someone just read for us and we go step by step to understand everything.
Note how many of our workers are living in smaller communities in the rural part of Majidogo.
I think this part is for the other one. So I think this is begin from the other one. Yeah. So.
President Dali congratulated the team for completing the survey, but he would not have this data. But he will not have this data were it not for our field workers. So let's gather some data on their performance in this process so we can thank those who really put in all their efforts in. President Nadali has asked we send out an email or message congratulating the top 3 field surveyors. So let us use our database to get the employee IDs and use those to get the names, email, and phone numbers of the 3 field surveyors with the most location visits.
First of all, this part, I think the issue comes here from this part. Location, visit. Yes. Location, not locations, visit. Location visits. So it means that a location, then the number of visits within that location. And I don't know if I haven't understood. Can someone just explain this statement before I go to the next slide, kindly?
The idea when they say location visit, I think when you go to the visits, if you can open up maybe the visits database or whatever, the visits table. If you look at it, they are saying a location ID. So for each location ID, they tell you the number of visits that employee went in that location, and then now the employee ID. So that's why I think she was saying we count, because it's each the way it has been grouped here is by location. So for each location, whether they have gone 4 times, that is counted as one location. So I think that's what they mean. So they are trying to get the location. Let me just go back. They're trying to get how many times they went to that location. Sorry, not how many times they went to that location, like how many visits they made to different locations. Yeah.
I think I've understood.
So I think I have another opinion.
Yes.
It says the field surveyors with the most location visits. What that means in literal terms means that even if it's the same location, the number of visits made to a particular location, whether it's same or different. So the total number of visits that person made, that's what they're interested in. So that shows how much the person exerted himself. So like that visit table we see that you open, please, can you please just open it up? So that location ID, the visit count to that location ID is 1. But there are some locations that the visit count, there's an echo. Can you hear me?
Patricia, can you mute yourself? Mute yourself so that you can talk.
Okay. So now, if you look at that, each location has a location ID for the visit. So if there are multiple visits for that particular location, the visit count will identify it maybe as 2, 3, 4. But each of these ID represents a particular location. The visit count represents the number of times that location was visited. So it's not, maybe if you visit one location 5 times, the visit count will show 5, not 1. So that's how it is grouped in that table.
Harry,
Yes.
are we reading together with we finished at that last paragraph at number 9, or we have already gone up to that other first paragraph in number 10, in page 10?
We've just read up to this point. We haven't gone to the other one.
Up to what point? Let me. So you see that first paragraph.
Yes, you can read.
It says, let's first look at the number of records each employee collected. So find the correct table, which we have found visits, figure out what function to use and how to group. Order and limit the results only to see the top 3 employee IDs with the highest number of locations visited. Highest number of locations visited, not the highest number of visits per location. Highest number of locations visited.
Yeah, I think this part has solved our problem. Locations visit. Not a visit counting those locations, the locations visit. Yeah, I think as you can see the other part it was location visit, but now this one has made it clear it is locations visited different location. For example, an employee visited different locations, so they want to identify who of the employees visited many locations. I think that's the idea here. Locations visited, yeah.
Yeah, so I think we were correct on that query. The only thing that will change is we are counting the location ID, not the visit count.
Yes.
Me, I'm thinking that we are grouping by the location ID now.
And then now we are not doing the count, right? We are doing we are not doing the sum, we are doing the count.
Yes, we are doing the counts and then we are counting the location ID.
Count, then location ID. Location is a location ID. Location ID, yeah, it is. And then what else? Location ID. So
I think you can just run it. We see what we'll get.
And then yeah, so let me run.
No, there's something wrong.
There's something wrong, yeah.
There's something wrong. So you're saying assigned. The order, the group by, you group by.
It's order
by
by
assigned employee ID and order by assigned employee ID too.
Pardon?
Amma? We are ordering by what? The new visit count, Amma, as by assigned ID, assigned employee ID. Okay.
There's no problem. You can read and understand better. Can someone at the highest? Let me just read. So I think it should be we are grouping by the nini. We are grouping by what?
you group by assigned employee
ID.
because we want to know that particular employee, how many locations they visited, and then we are ordering by the same assigned employee ID because now we want to see who had the most or who had the, yeah.
So I think at this part, yeah, okay, that's fine, it's fine. So I think it's okay. Anything else? Wonderful. When you find something that relates, yes?
Yes, it looks like what is in the what we have here, exactly what we have here. My only concern is those 3. It shows 1099, 37, 08, and 2033.
Yes.
How do we know those are the highest?
The highest. Oh, So if I want to identify, for example, you can use you can order by maybe descending so that you can know which is the top there. So that it will begin to display the top, then the top, the least, and the most least. Is it?
I think that would give you the same results because you see,
Yeah, you
just
see,
run it.
just an arrangement. This will filter like the top will be the first, and then the other one.
I don't know. I really don't know. That part of order by is a bit.
Actually, the order by thing is used to sort. Maybe to sort, like for example, if you want to have the highest, if it's numbers, it will mean that if by default it will arrange from ascending to descending, actually from the least number to the highest. And if it's strings, then it will filter, it will sort by maybe from the alphabetical, like the one that the character maybe begins with the A, it will be the first one. Then the one that begins with Z, it will be the. Actually, the order by is just used to sort like maybe if you want to begin from ascending or a descending thing. It is just for sorting. Or what were you asking by then? Maybe I didn't got your question well.
You see, my concern was if we are ordering so highest to smallest, I understand that part.
Yes, yes.
But you see, what it will sort is what you are assigned as your employee ID. So, of course, the way it has begun from 0, 1, 2.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, if you were to say ascending, then it would begin from the highest employee ID assigned. But you see, we are trying to see the most locations visited. So, how are we seeing that?
Can someone try to explain to her kindly? Or before someone else. So basically,
Okay.
we are doing the. Yeah, you can go ahead kindly.
Okay, I think I see her point.
Yes.
She's of the opinion that we should order by number of visits, since that's the areas for the location ID that we are counting, right? We've grouped it by the assigned employee, so it picks the employee and picks the total of the number of locations visited. Now we are saying the total number of locations visited. We should order it using the number of locations visited in either in descending order rather. I don't know if that's what she's trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I understand that we got the correct values according to the mini we are reading from. But then when we are trying to see the top employee,
Yes.
if we order, you see what we have seen here, it's just 0, 1, and 2. Like, automatically the first 3 employee IDs really, it does not mean. So that means we need to at least make sure we are sorting from highest to lowest to see highest number of locations visited to lowest number of locations visited per employee ID. So that's my thinking about that order by part, because we are trying to see who is the highest performing.
Mm-hmm. So
And I think I agree with you as well. And I don't know. Yeah.
So basically, the question asked to identify the highest number of locations visited. So I think we are sorting, we should sort which one should we use? And the top 3 employee IDs with the highest number of locations visited. Yeah, you can see now the key thing is locations visited. So we are more keen on the location that were visited, not even the the number of I don't know if this thing is getting complicated. I think just an the explanation is the only difficult thing here. If someone who has understood everything can try to just explain to us the codes. We know that it
I
is
think we are.
yes.
I think we are doing the right thing. Let's just put the number of visits as the order by. The question says that we get similar table, but not exactly. It says on the number of this thing. Let's see when we run it. Let's see what we'll get. When we order by number of visits
So I should
in
order by
descending order. Yes.
this one.
Yes, in descending order.
I think it should give us a different thing.
No, it will really be the same. It just will give us the highest number of visits. If you look at it, you see the other one had 1099 and something, but this one is showing the correct way, like the highest now. 3708, 36, 76, and 35, 39. The other was correct, just the order by bit, like he said. Yes.
Yeah. That's very correct. And
the question may even help us as we go further. May say whether we did the right thing now. Let's still go down the question and see, maybe not this one. As we go down, maybe we'll get
you've
it.
read this part. Which part?
I'm saying as we go down the question, let's see, maybe it will tell us the table up was correct or we should have done something. That's what I'm suggesting.
Oh, but I think this guy is the one who, or maybe I'm the one who didn't got this person very well. You see, it says that you should get a table like this, but in a different order.
Different order.
Yeah.
Yes, in a different order. So we are correct now.
That's correct, yeah.
The one we just did now is correct.
Yeah,
because it's in the right order now.
Because now the visit should be, we should now identify the one which was visited the highest time. By the way, we are targeting now the number, the one that had the highest. So you should sort by the by that one, the visit count for those locations. So I think this approach is correct. So I believe now we are settled on this slide. You can go to the next thing. Or anyone has a
yes,
Yes, we are okay.
Okay, thank you. Which slide are we? 11. Is it 11 or yeah, 11? Now, so the thing here, he wanted to obtain the information about those top 3 people. So we can do the filter and we can do the we can query those people with those IDs. And because I think the next slide goes to a different thing, analyzing. Oh, or is it the same? I think here we need to give president the top 3 people. So we should now query from a different table and identify who are these top 3 people, right? Are we together?
Yes, with this assigned employee ID, we use this employee ID in the employee table. They can extract their name and their phone number and their email address and send the message as it gets sent to them.
So it should be in the employee table. Should be the employee table where you want to fetch the.
Did you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello.
Okay. So we just pick yes, I can hear you. So we just pick those 3 employee IDs and we pick those 3 employee IDs.
We pick those yeah, so okay. So we are going to filter. We want just to return these 3. We want to find the names of these 3 people, 3 individuals. See, right?
Yes.
Well, because of
where employee ID.
Employee ID.
Assigned employee ID.
let me employee assigned employee ID. Yeah, this one.
The first one.
In
Where assigned employee ID in brackets. And put the numbers of that.
Okay. Where was it? Right here.
First one.
So the employee ID
130 and
that's
34.
130, 34.
130. Yes.
It should be 1
30,
30,
34.
yeah, like that.
Yes. Yes.
Let me,
Wait. Where assigned employee ID in assigned employee. Okay. Where employee ID in. Yes, I
it's
think
just correct.
yes, it's correct.
Now let me just paste on our original script. Our main script. And so
that's the details.
Yeah, so these are their details.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can now send them a mail.
Yeah, so we can send now. But there we corrected the table. We have the emails. You can send them. Yeah, I think we are good now. We are satisfied with this slide. We can go to the next thing now. Can she continue to read? Yes.
Okay. Analyzing locations. Looking at the location table, let's focus on the province name, town name, and location type to understand where the water sources are in Majindogo. Create a query that counts the number of records per town. For example, if we count the number of records for each town, I get those records. Now count the records per province.
So looking at the location table, let's focus on the province name and the town name and the location type to understand where the water sources in Majindogos are. So we are now going to a different. In fact, if I can just delete this add-on, and that we may just focus on a few things that will not confuse us. So we are going to the location table. We are using now the location table, and then and we want to focus on the province name, town name, and the location type. So town name, location, province name, location type. Yeah, that is. Then the other thing, create a query that counts the number of records per town, the number of records per town. So before we do anything, we can just tell that the group by will be what? You can just tell, right? The group by here shall be town, right? Are we in the same page? Are we together?
Yes, I'm following.
Yes. So I was asking, first of all, let's try to understand. Can someone just try to explain to us this slide? Let a different person try to interpret for us this slide. Because we realize that you must first of all understand the question before you do the analysis. So it's better first of all we understand this part before we dive into the query. Anybody?
We are still looking at the question.
Okay, sure. Okay.
Okay, so I think we are grouping by town name. We are grouping by town name. and we are counting the records per town, meaning that we are counting the entire number of rows as record per town. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So I think we are, yes, can we look at the relational database we are using, the MySQL, so that we can look at the code? So, yes, this. Create a query that counts the number of records per town. So we are counting number of records per town. That's count star as number of records per town, and
Sorry,
group
I think I missed you a bit. Can you just try to repeat that part kindly? I didn't hear you very well.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I think we are counting the total number of records per row. So we are counting asterisk as number of records per town, and we are also grouping by records per by town name rather. We are grouping by town name.
All right.
At least.
All right. So I believe everyone has understood this part. So let's just dive into the codes. Writing the codes. The command was, you said, we are selecting.
We can select star
We are selecting
or those lists. We can select all, or we can select the list that they put there in the questions. They put a couple of.
Okay, so we are focusing on the what? On the its location. Its location. Yeah.
Yes.
So the first one we can use the town name, and then the other one we can use.
Yes.
The other one we can use province name. Was it? Yes.
Counting.
I don't know if it's my network.
Yes, we have province name. Yes.
Yes. Hello.
Province name is fine too.
Province name.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, you are saying province name.
Yes, province name. I think you mentioned one more. I've forgotten in the question. You mentioned town name, province name, and location type.
Create a query that counts the number of records per
Yes.
town. Oh yeah, records per town.
Yes.
So the other one is type, location type.
Yes, location type.
Location type, yeah.
Then we count.
Yes.
Then we count. We count.
Oh, we are counting what? We are counting
we are counting the total number of rows as number of records per town.
Oh, per town. Can you? Yeah. So per town. So town is the one that I want to count. Okay, wait.
No, we are just counting the entire rows. Since it doesn't either is town we are counting, or it's going to still give us the same thing.
The same thing.
Since this is so we just use count.
Anywhere, in whichever.
No, after the select, we go down. Yes.
Yeah.
Count. Yes. Count. Star, asterisk. Yes, then close it as number of records per town.
Is number of underscore records underscore per town. Yeah, town. Number of records per town.
Then we group by town name.
Or group by town name. You just
think
on
that's
sorting.
all.
There's no sorting there.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Let me add it here. There's an error. Group by class, town name, group by town name. What are we trying? What can be the problem here? So now, what can be the problem here?
Okay, I think the question says we should group by. Oh no.
Let's try to understand once
Correct
again.
now.
Create a query that counts the number of records per town. Oh, the number of records per town. So I think what we'll do, we will in fact we can do it. We can filter other records so that we may focus on just few stuff. So records per town. Let's just use the count here, because they want us to get the number of records per town, and the number of records per town, and then am I writing my things here? First of all, let's just read this thing and understand. So create a query that counts the number of records per town, the records per town. So I think let's just use that one at the moment. Then we are going to let me try to run this one. No.
Okay, I think I've seen where the error is.
Yes.
I think we should select town name. Select town name.
Select town name by then.
Town name.
Yeah. So town name. Let me just drag it there.
And then count asterisk as number of records per town.
Number of records per town.
Yes.
Oh, so it's town name right here.
Yes. Then.
Yeah. So I think this
as number.
Yes. So let's use it as an alias here so that we can find something descriptive.
As number NOS, number of records per town.
Number of records per town. Number of records per town. Let's just use that one.
Oh, anyhow.
Yeah, I think that one works. So I think we are good here. So we can retrieve, we have grouped by the town name. Then now we can see how many, the number of records. This is just counting the records that has maybe Harare in it. So this is the information there. And I believe we are good up to that. Then at the next one says, now count the records per province. So in that case, I think we shall focus on the province name, not. Let me do this. Let me copy, comment. Then now here we shall use now the province instead of the town.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, province name. And then again. So here it should be per province. Should be
Group by Group by province name. Group by province name.
Oh, also here, yeah, sure. Group by province name. Then so here, let me change it to P because it's not town P. Number of rows per province. It's not descriptive, but just for us to understand, just to give it anything for the sake of understanding. So we can see we have this information. So I think this slide we are good. I believe they are the same. Kilimani 9510. Kilimani 9510, yeah, I think it's okay. Can someone read for us this part? And by the way, when you are tired, you can just tell me to stop the session.
Okay.
Yes.
From this table, it's pretty clear that most of the water sources in the survey are situated in small rural communities scattered across Majindodo. If we count the records for each province, most of them have a similar number of sources. So every province is well presented in the survey. Can you find a way to do the following? 1. Create a result set showing province name, town name, an aggregated count of records for each town. Consider naming these records per town. Ensure your data is grouped by both province name and town name. 2. Order your results primarily by province name. Within each province, further sort the towns by their record counts in descending order.
Can someone try to explain to us this slide? Can anyone?
I'm sorry, I didn't get to read it. Let me try and read it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so I think what is just using the same query we've written earlier. We are just this time ordering by province name to help us look at the town records maybe in descending order. So we are just ordering by province name in descending order. That's all we are doing.
Now,
To the two queries we have written earlier.
okay. So order your results by province name and each province further sort the towns by their records count. I have a thing that I hear we should use the window function because there's what the running what is called the running what, like for example you can say like a akatasi. So it will display maybe the towns within this province. We want to do something that we can order within this within maybe this province. Maybe that province, it has these regions. So you can order the regions, and then we can also sort the province name. I think here we should not use the same approach. We should use the window functions here, if I'm not wrong.
I don't know which one is window functions.
Oh, the window function.
So the only thing I just know is just to sort the town in descending order by the province by province name and the town by town name, according to what I read here.
Count of records for each town, consider many days, record per town, records per town. So let's I believe everyone has understood this part. Let me try to reread. Let me just try to read, even if it won't be good. So from this table, it's pretty clear that most of the water sources in the survey are situated in small rural communities scattered across Majindogo. If we count the records for each province, most of them have a similar number of sources. So every province is well represented in the survey. Now, can you find a way to do the following? To create a result set showing the province name, then the town name, and then an aggregated count of records for each town, considering naming these as records per town. Then ensure your data is grouped by both province name and the town name. So let me make this one a comment. We are done with the other one. Not really. We can use the same command by the way, but let's just begin afresh. Let's just write here our select query. We are doing what we are selecting. We are selecting what they gave us. They gave us province name, and then the other thing they gave us was the town name, and the town name. Let me just align them to be properly. And then now the other one was an aggregated. Now because here we are doing the the other one we are doing what we are doing there. We are doing the unaggregated count of records of each town. So here we are doing now this one. We are doing is it by town? But now we are going to focus on the town.
Yes, you are using the province now. The one you selected is the province one. The upper one is the town one.
Pardon? I think there's rain here.
You are supposed to.
So based on this list, so the first one, he says the first should be the province name, the second one is the town name, and then the other one should be an aggregated count of each town. So that's why, each town. So we are using it as a town. So we shall change here from province to town name, right? And then because
as number of them.
No, I think we won't use. We have to use now the window function. The one that you can use the over, and then you partition. Is it? Yeah, you partition the spelling partition by. We are going to partition by. We are going to partition again by. Is it town name?
I don't know anything about window function. Sorry.
We are going to partition by town name, and then also they say that we do the wait. Partition by town name. Yeah, partition by town name. Oh, we are going to partition now by province because a town can be a province can have several count town name over partition by. Now the partition by or the window function for this partition, this is like you are just trying to do a group by. It's just like a group by. But this one helps us to use the running totals. I think the running whatever. So like for example, when you just use this example here, you can see, for example, you have the province name, but within that province name, you can see that we have different towns. We have different towns. For example, Amanzi, it has rural. Asmara, you can see province, it has different different towns. So I think here the partition by should be now the province name. Province should be province name, and then they say that we order should be now order. The order by should be now the town name. Should be town name, sorry. Order by town name. Let's try to first of all figure if it will work or not, and then we shall try to. And then they say that we can use it as an alias, something what? Where was it? Yeah, records per town. As record per towns. Then the other thing, if it will work, then I'll explain what I'm doing here in case. So if it fails, then we shall consider a different approach. I want this thing to start in a new line. I don't know why it's failing. Oh, yeah, it worked. We are not using, is it location? Yeah, location table. Now from location table, and then we are going again to order by. We are going to order by our province name again. We are going to order by the province name. If it will work, then I'll explain everything. Order by province name. Is it ascending? Did they say ascending or descending? Is it?
Descending.
Ensure that you are scoped by province. Order your results primarily by province name. The province name with each province. Within each province, further sort the towns by their record counts. Record counts in descending. So we are doing what? We are going to order now not by province name. We are going to order by something else. Let me understand better. Sort their records count. Their record count. Their record counts in descending order. So this should be province name. I think we should use just the same province name, right? Then descending, we specify descending. Is it? Are we together, by the way? Let me try to read that.
Are you sure people are not sleeping?
When it started window function,
Personally, I don't understand the question.
Yes.
Just try and run it, we see.
let me try to read it to understand first of all if I caught everything here. So can you find a way to do the following? Create a results set showing the province name. So that should display, it should be in the first column. Then the second one should be the town name. Then an aggregated count of each record for an aggregated count for each record for each town. Consider is grouped by province name. Grouped by province name, both are province. Oh, but then we also have another one before the order by. We need to have also the group by. So with the window function, because we'll have like you have like, let me just use the one that is out here. It's running here. So we have for example, this is a province name. You can group now this province name by its way, and then you know, with they said with the accounts. Now you can just give me 10 seconds. I try to compose myself to explain this one better. Okay, so basically what they are trying to do here, when you use now this second group by, because now we have two different items. It's not one like the other one we grouped by, so it will do the aggregation. Like this is a good example, like the province name. So this one will group by this one by, you know, the province name. Then it will count the records. But now we have a different one. We have the towns within this provinces. So we need also to group the towns inside the provinces. So the first thing we are grouping there, we are grouping. We are doing what? We are grouping the province name, then again we are grouping the town names, and then all of them we are sorting by descending. I think first of all, let's try to see if it will run before we explain further. So for us to be able to use this group by province name. Let me again get there and understand your grouped. Ensure that your data is grouped by both province name and town name. Province name and the town name. So it means that you can use again the other group by, right? Have it together. Can we just Control Z? Why is it not working? What am I doing here? Yeah, group by the province name, and then again we group by the town name. No, we can't use two group by. I think the other one should be here. Oh, basically, you see, like I said earlier, the partition is the same as grouping. It's the same as grouping by. But these ones run for the internal, like the second part, the second bit inside here. Inside, where was it? So this part, the one in the inside, the running totals here in the inside. Let me first of all try to run this one and see first of all if it will work. I believe everything is okay. Let's first of all get our error before we do anything. Our select list is not non-aggregated columns. Oh, so group by. Where are you guys?
I have a different one.
Yes.
But I have a different one, but
Yes,
it
kindly.
doesn't have window function.
Yes.
So let me just refer to the question.
Yes,
So create a result set showing the province name, town name. So we select those columns, the province name and the town name first. You can go to the
Okay, let me just do so.
query. So we are selecting the province name, the town name, and then they're saying we an aggregate count of records for each town. So what I'm understanding by this is we are counting the towns.
Yeah, the town. So let me just copy the same thing.
And then as those will be our records per town. So as records per town,
As records per town.
the alias name, yeah. Then from the table, from locations table, then now we are in point number 2, where we are. No, not point number 2. Ensure your data is grouped. So we are going for grouped by the province name and town name. So we group by province name and town name.
Our province name and town name.
No, do you use and or comma?
Or comma.
Yeah.
Town name.
Then we order. Now we are on the second point. Order your results primarily by province name. So we are ordering by province name.
Order by province name.
And then the last bit is saying within each province, further sort the towns by their record counts. So we are also going to further sort it. We add on order by, we add the records per town. So comma records per town.
Records per town.
Yeah, the alias.
Oh, the okay. Yeah.
Descending.
So like that.
Yes. Within each province, further sort the towns by their record counts in descending order.
In descending. So what do I do?
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay.
Is okay.
Yeah.
Let's try to now. Wow. Hey, you are a genius. You are a genius. At least we got something, some output. Yeah, by the it works. Exactly like what it's here. Thank you so much for this one. Thank you so much. Or can you just try to explain to people so that I think maybe sorry. Can you just
I think I've just followed those instructions exactly as it is. So I don't know how further to explain, because they're just saying create a result that's showing. So meaning that on the select we are supposed to have the columns province name, town name, and then another column that would be aggregated, of which we use the count, and that column we are naming it records per town. So those 3 should be our columns. Then now they're saying
Yes.
ensure your data is grouped by both. We are grouping the same data by province name and town name.
The town name.
Yeah, then now we order. They're literally telling us the whole query. Then order your results primarily by province name and then the alias that we used, the records per town, and then we order it in descending order.
Wow, I think also I've learned something here. Initially I didn't know that you can use you can group by two elements or two tables, two columns on the same command. I didn't realize, but I think the goodness with the discussion, you understand better, you learn from one another. Thank you so much for this one. I think I've understood this part. Unless someone has a question for you.
I think it's clear.
Just straightforward, right? Very perfect.
Yeah, just straightforward from the instruction.
Yes, yes. Yeah, exactly. So, what do you think, guys? We'll continue or
Okay. Hello.
hello?
Yeah, we continue, please.
Oh, we are continuing. Okay. So, so I think we can go to the next slide. I think we are good here. It is just a matter of following but the goodness here is actually for you to do your queries very well. You need just to understand what they are saying here. When you follow the steps very well, then you will have a good output. So let's someone read for us this part and we try to do something there. Please read.
Your table should look something like this.
I guess.
These results show us that our field surveyors did an excellent job of documenting the status of our country's water crisis. Every province and town has many documented sources. This makes me confident that the data we have is reliable enough to base our decisions on. This is an insight we can use to communicate data integrity. So let's make a note of that. Finally, look at the number of records for each location type.
Anybody to help us here?
So people are tired, people are living like crazy. Only 7 minutes.
Can you just I think I have an idea because essentially here we are trying to revise for the exam. Now, can we just, for example, if tomorrow we want to capture, we want to finish everything, we can create another session just to do the MCQ. Then when we are done with the MCQ for part 3, then we can just go step by step on this one because I think it will be on the exam. So we just do the MCQ and then I will say that we are done with that part. Then I will just continue with our stuff just slowly until we understand everything. So that when you go to the exam, because it will carry everything, we'll have an idea. Is it? Rather than maybe skipping and say because of the exam, the MCQ is near, we shift to MCQ3 and then forget about this MCQ2. I think it won't be a good idea, right? Because with the pace, I'm not sure if we might also cover even tomorrow. These are slates.
So what are you suggesting, please?
Basically, what I'm trying to say is that if we will not cover, by the we see that people are leaving. If we will not cover this one today, and maybe tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow is Friday, so maybe tomorrow again, if we will not cover this slide, And I remember the MCQ3 is due on next week or on Monday. So I was thinking that if we will not be able to cover these slides by tomorrow, then I'm probably our next meetup we should just focus on the MCQ3. We cover the MCQ assignment, then I shall just come back and continue. If we will not have covered, just continue with the slides, then I will finish, then I will go to slide 3. Other than saying like, for example, because slide, MCQ3 is due Monday, then I will leave this one, then I begin the MCQ3 walkthrough. I don't know.
Okay, so this is what I'm suggesting.
Yes.
I'm suggesting we start with MCQ3.
Yes.
And in our next meetup,
yes,
when we are MCQ3, we might not finish it in one day through the walkthrough.
Yes.
So let's say we finish MCQ3 Saturday evening.
Yes.
Or Sunday morning.
Yes.
Then we can now come back to this part of 2. By doing MCQ3, we would have covered the lesson of MCQ3. If we've covered one yesterday, then we would have covered MCQ3. Then we'll now go back to this remaining half of MCQ2 and now complete it before the exam date. Because if we say we should continue with MCQ2 again, it will put us under immense pressure. By the time we complete it, we'll now start jail-train for MCQ3 rather than fully breaking it down into pieces. So I think we should just leave 2 to 2.5 days for MCQ3. If we start tomorrow, let's say late in the evening, we can start late in the evening tomorrow so that we can gather time for people to look at it. Let's say we start 9, we start and we continue on Saturday. We can start earlier on Saturday, run through, then do the rest on Sunday. And whatever time we have left, maybe we'll meet at late. If we finish Sunday morning, we can say, okay, let's meet in the evening on Sunday, to finish up MCQ2,
Yeah, I also agree. I don't know the rest.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
And we should also remember that we have another MCQ even after MCQ3. We have another one and then an exam.
Things are tough ahead. Tough times ahead.
So we have MCQ3 and 4, and then now we have the exams. So I think we should also consider our pace when we are having these meetings, so that we finish and we go to the next one.
Yes.
So even if we finish MCQ3, then we come back to MCQ2, we should be fast with it, and then I will start the other MCQ. I think we have MCQ4.
Oh yeah. So this is MCQ. Now the goodness, I think at the slides, I think from MCQ3 to the rest, there's no slides to cover. They're just exams.
There are slides. The 19.1.
They integrated this stuff. These are the, oh yeah.
And that one for 20, there's another slide.
Yeah.
So we have quite a lot.
Wow. Sure, we need to speed up. So I encourage you guys before we meet up, ensure that at least you have something so that you may help. In case someone is stuck, you can just chip in and help us with the command quickly. We finish the slide and then I go to the next, other than, researching while on the session. It takes a lot of time. So it will be a good idea if we research, all of us. Maybe we go through the slides, individually, so that when we meet, we won't take time, because if I'm stuck, someone can chip in and help us with the command, so that we can do that quickly without wasting a lot of time. Can that work?
I think it can work. And I think for that MCQ3,
yes,
tomorrow maybe we should meet at a later time so that like everybody will be home. Because I observe like some people are on transit,
Yes.
so that's why they just use emojis to respond till they get home and all that. So if you can meet later in the evening, deeper in the evening tomorrow, it will be